Hello. Just waiting for people to get in here. This is Elysium Place, and we're gonna be running our Hydra keys for everyone and anyone who has been here for a while. Sorry for the wait, but we'll be done shortly. Seems like we have had good progress on Hydra this week. It's pretty good. What we're trying to do today, I'm gonna be running my Brutal key and my Nightmare key. We're targeting somewhere around 100 million just to make it easy. It seems like most of our people have hit. We normally have around 15 to 16 people that hit Nightmare. So as long as I get 100 million, everything else will be pretty simple for everyone else. I already did my hard key. Maybe next week I'll make a video on that one. So it's a super easy team that has a lot of replacements. Dodges is not required. You can use a Python or even anyone who would provide a veil. So that's just one of your spot for your the spot of the protector and speed lead. Vargal is there for provoking and mischief tanking. Cantra is just there for provoking and general debuffs. She's really good in this comp. She might be even better if you replace Duchess with a Shamael and put Cantra in the lead. Venus is there for decreased defense, weaken, and burns. She's also built on a curse set to provide some hex, which is really good. That's why she's even doing any damage in this team. Uko's there just for block buffs, so she can be replaced with an Ugo. If you don't have another reviver, Uko is fine. My Uko is very weak because she's built on a stun set for PvP. So she would be much better if she was built on a provoke set with a retaliation set, just so that whenever she gets hit, she has a, what is it, 20%, 25% chance to get the stun out. Artak here, interesting enough, he is not built for damage whatsoever, and he's putting 20 mil pretty comfortably just because all his attacks are AoE. So next week I might do a video just on this one because it's a fairly accessible champion team if you exclude Duchess, which Duchess is easily replaceable. Venus can be replaced by anyone who has a lot of AoEs, preferably someone with decreased defense and weaken. So Lydia is an option. I wouldn't pair Vargal with Lydia because the unique buff that makes Vargal be able to tank Mischief is weak Strengthen. So Vargal doesn't do very well with other Strengthen champions in the team because that's his unique buff. Artak is build purely for survivability, and he's built on my Ice Golem team, which is pretty neat. So he doesn't even have War Master because I can't have it with War Master on for Ice Golem. So this is just a team I drew together just for hard, just so I can one key it. If I was building Artak for damage, he would be putting 40 mil by himself pretty easily right now. Let me show you that build. Just I think it's just interesting that even on a damage build, Artak is just laying out here. Yeah, so this is my Artak right now. He does have a lot of stats just because he's built endgame for the endgame Ice Golem. So, but there is no damage stats on him whatsoever, and his masteries are just defensive masteries to the defense and support, just to extend that burns and anything, all the things that he does. He does have Brimstone, just a level 1, though. Even on even on my main, I can only have one level of Brimstone on Artak. But he's here mainly just to extend those HP burns that we placed with Venus and himself. His signature move, doing the HP burn, it also very nicely brings decreased attack on that team. Um, I was noticing that we were getting very heavily damaged just because it didn't have any ally protect. So that might be an improvement that you guys can replace. Maybe Duchess for someone with a ally protect, and you guys will be pretty pretty well on your way to do a 1 key with that team. Where are we? The other nice thing about that one is Vargal brings a decreased attack. Artak also has a decreased attack, and Uko has a decreased attack on his A1. So um, yeah, there's a lot of debuffs and that in this team, especially the decreased attack, which is always going to be on, and that helps Kantra have those four or five buffs that she needs to place that provoke. All right. So I'll start with an easy one because brutal. My team can probably do over 100, but right now I'm just probably gonna target just try to kill it. Um, so what we'll do is I'll use this one here. This is not my strongest team. My strongest team is this one over here, Nightmare Hydra. So this one is based on a pretty popular team that if you guys have watched Nobrace, he used it on the Content Creator Clash, which uses Shamael to boost Nekmotar and Molly Tankard just to be a secondary boosting. It looks a little bit different because they use Mitrala and Chamael. Uh, so how that one works is it uses the negative buffs from what's it, the Head of Torment, the Fears, and converts them into speed boosting for Nekmotar. That pushes him 4 in the turn meter. And then he in return buffs everyone else and boosts everyone else. So it works really well. I personally don't like that team all that much because the weakness is you only have 1 damage if you're not counting Shamael. You can build Shamael for damage, but then you're gonna have to semi-manual it. Which I do semi-manual this one too, but I just rather run with a team like this where I have multiple DPS. And so that one I call it I call it the negative engine team, which has the Shamael. So this one's just the engine team because it has basically 3 speed boosters. So the weakness of this team though, it'll be that we don't have any way of dealing with the fear except cleansing it. So that's what Korogar is here for. Is this guy in the middle? He's one of the best ally protectors in the game. So he has speed boosting with the belt all here. So he attacks everyone. The nice thing is he attacks, does his turn meter fill, and then cleanses. So even when he does this move and attacks the Fearhead, he'll cleanse it off before ending his turn. So everyone will be clear, even him, from fear. So next time he comes around, he won't have a fear on him. So that's pretty nice. Basically, he's doing speed boosting plus the ally protect and strengthen, and that just gives us a lot of survivability. Molly Tankard, he's here just for her turn meter fill. Every time he gets hit, she needs to take a turn before she's able to do this. So, but every time she takes a turn, this refreshes, so it's only on a 1 turn cooldown. So that's very strong. And then the reflect damage, which is basically just gonna be the unique buff that makes her a tank, a buff tank. So you can see on the right, stat-wise, she's gonna have just slightly more speed than the Hydra heads, and this with the my speed lead puts her over to 250, 500 res, 400 accuracy. She's a little bit overstated, but that's just me overstatting for maybe Ultra Nightmare Hydra when it comes out. But you only need 500 and 400 here, and she'll do everything she needs to do. One thing that's very special about her is I have her Baron Reflex, just so she can get back to her bar brawl. Because yeah, she does have a single target revive in case something bad happens, but she's here for the most part just to do this skill, one only. She does not use her revive unless someone is dead, like some other revive champions. So that's pretty cool because then you can just every time she takes a turn, She's gonna be have a 30 what is it 20-30% chance to refresh this bar brawl, and that just is great. Ugo's here just for usual shenanigans with her decreased defense block buffs on a 3-turn cooldown. That's she's on a relentless just so she can get back to this as fast as possible. And because we don't have any way to deal with the fears, she also have a small cleanse here. So the only thing we need one to cleanse really is that fear. This team will for sure one key full auto. I like to click on heads just to make sure that I do big numbers of damage just so I can get people quicker. Um, we might have to refresh it a few times, which is kind of sad. But if I want to do help the clan every week, I just go and refresh my keys a couple times until I get close to 100 or over 100. Um, and that usually puts us in a really good spot. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's just what needs to get done. Husk is here for Burning Iron. Right now, we're negative affinity to the cleansing head, which is a little bit of a pain, but still he's still good. I wouldn't. People say that he's not as good on this rotation because of that. I still think he's great. I have him built on a reflex. Any positive any positive RNG that you can have in your favor, even if it has, 50% chance to weak hit, and then it has to pass the 20% to do the provoke. Any any little bit that you can put it in to do positive RNG in your favor helps a lot in Hydra, especially when you're in the highest um, difficulties and high turns inside of the run. Everything will help. Then one of my favorite champions is here too is Michinaki. So Michinaki comes in place of Mitrala because we lost putting in Kurugar. We're losing out on Hex, but he brings the Hex, and on top of that, gives us a lot of control with his main ability, which is a decreased defense and a buff strip. Sorry, the buff strip is with in this one with the Hex, and then if they already have Hex, he also puts out the decrease attack, which is pretty cool. So it gives us a double layer of protection right there. Neck Motar is also pushing decrease attack, speed boosting, taking extra turns, and pushing decreased speed and leech. So as you guys can see, we're for the most part relying on leech to heal, War Master Pox, and Ugo for healings on his A3 and protection from Korgar. So it is a fairly tanky team. We have to be careful with Molly because Molly, if she dies, the run ends, and that's gonna the the caveat with this team, which is the same that you would have with the negative engine team. Um, I just really like this team. Sometimes I use also the negative engine team just because I'm gonna be lazy and I just reset the Kia multiple times until I get 100 million. But yeah, I think this is a nice team because you can replicate it with multiple champions versus if you use the negative engine team, you can't really do that because if you don't have Shamala, you're kind of baked. You can't. There's not a lot of replacements for that. So, anyways, I kind of got in my own soap opera there and kind of skipped what we're doing here. So we're just doing Nightmare and Brutal with this team. So we're just gonna do Brutal. We're hoping. Let me check that again before we start. We're hoping for 50 mil at a minimum, and then I won't keep you guys all ended at 50 mil. But it probably can go to 90 depending on my RNG. Normally, when I'm running this, I normally leave it full auto for the most part, and I just let them do whatever. I like to click this head here, the head of the K, just because if she cleanses, that's when we get in trouble. Just because she starts cleansing and making us waste our abilities. At the start, I always reset the comp if one of them resists my block buffs, because then what happens is that the head of Blight will put her Poison Cloud, and then we lose a bunch of turns in damage. One of the nice things in this team is that we also bring Hex and Burns. So even if there was someone who slips by and resists the block buffs, and they get Poison Clouds over, as long as they have Burn on them, we still can hit them. And that's something a lot of people don't know, is that you can get around the Poison Cloud just by having Burns out. And the nice thing too is Tila, which is one of my other favorite champions, and I have Attila on my free to play. She can also extend those burns, so you can, as long as you keep really good control over what's going on, or you have a team that can keep control, she'll keep extending those burns, and it won't really fall off of anyone for the most part. She's built on a relentless. So for the most part, we're getting close here. We might get a cleanse, and that might be pretty bad. We're pretty far away from the poison cleanse, so that's not a big deal. Husk 1 didn't cleanse, so now we got a cleanse, so now we have to re-put everything up. So that's one of the things that's what people say it's kind of bad in this rotation is that Husk can't reliably provoke. And it's valid, but see right there, he put it on. So now we avoid him putting her shield over the Head of Blight, because now she's still on cooldown on the other ability. I think she's gonna take a turn here, and then Chris is gonna go around, and I think it's his turn now to put his he's gonna put his provoke. So now we're covered. I think she's gonna be able to cleanse maybe one more time before she dies, but we'll see. Hopefully not. But as you can see, this is a fairly, I know it has some of the best champions in for this Hydra, with pairing Duchess with Krisk. Uh, but to be honest, this team can do Nightmare too, because I have them all started for Nightmare. So when I build my teams for Brutal, I build them for Nightmare really, just so I can swap out champions. So here that's problematic, but now we had to just switch targets. We'll see what happens, but we have one of the husks provoked, and the other one is being eaten. Sometimes you get bad energy up front, and then you just have to reset. I don't think this is gonna be the case. I think we'll be fine. The problem is because I don't have my Crisp Bilk on provoke yet, so I don't have the gear for it. But yeah, we just free him, no problems. Now we switch targets to the head of cleansing here, head of decay. But see, as I said before, she might get, I know she didn't get that on the second cleanse that I thought we were gonna have before we got the burns out, but so pretty nice. Right now we got those poison clouds out, but we are not losing any damage because we have burns out, which is a pretty nice thing that I was mentioning before. If you have burns on your team, then the head of blight is a little bit less stressful to deal with. Oh, so one of the things that I was mentioning is that a lot of people say that they can't push higher because they don't have a Krisk or a Duchess. I personally don't think that Krisk is the best buff tank in the game. I think Molly does a way better job at doing that, and you can buy her from the coin shop. So that I think a lot of people who were struggling in Hydra when our clan was pushing higher into Nightmare and Brutal, when they bought their Molly tanker, they instantly got a boost where they could now do Nightmare Hydra or Brutal at a minimum. So this team will maybe be able to do 40 mil, 45 mils inconsistently on Nightmare, even with how much stats I have on them. Just because we're not going as fast as my main team that I showed you before we started here, but it's still a pretty decent team. And the nice thing is once you pair Crisp with Duchess, you free up a one spot because Crisp brings the decreased speed and increased speed for your team, plus does the tanking. So the nice thing, so don't take me wrong, I don't think what I'm saying is not that Krisk is a bad champion for Hydra. He's amazing, but the problem is that he doesn't do his debuffs as consistently as other champions. So I see his decreased attack and decreased defense and decreased speed just as something that covers you over. But it is, if you can fit in your team someone else that can do those buffs on command rather than rely on his passive, it will work a lot better. So as I said, he's not bad. He's just that if you want to do really big numbers of damage, you need all those debuffs to be up consistently. So as you guys can see, none of these heads right now have decreased speed, even though we have all the other buffs put, and it's just because we're relying on Chris to put that decreased speed on them, and we're not. So, and that not having decreased speed reduces your damage greatly because you can't lap as many times those heads on while you're doing your run, right? He's really good at keeping the buffs up that he brings on, but not the decreased speed, which is one of the critical ones that we need. So I made the mistake to not go for Rasselvarg, and Rasselvarg would have been a really good choice in here, just because we can keep that increased speed up infinitely and just do a lot of damage. Another sub that I could put in here maybe would be a Lady Kimi, but I like my Lady Kimi on another team that I use sometimes. But the problem is I don't want to lose my I don't want to take Tila out to gain a decreased speed permanently. So I'm just waiting for to get a champion that can do really high damage and also put AoE decreased speed for this team. But in the meantime, this is what we're dealing with. Now we're getting closer to Poison Cloud. Oh, there you go. We took care of it. So you guys can see, I've been just talking to you guys and not clicking all that much after the head of Decay died. So because this team, the one thing that I can say is like really stable, right? We haven't even gotten that many fears on. We're at turn 67, 25 mil. So yeah, so this team can easily go to. Ooh, that's kind of spicy right now. When Duchess gets eaten, we don't have refreshes on the Veil, and that's when we can get in trouble because we can start missing up a lot of turns. But oh, there we go. We took care of it. It's no problem. One thing, if I was paying more attention, what I would be doing is targeting the head of Blight or the when he pops, I'll tell you which one the other one that I like to target. Uh, if you have Brimstone on your team, you don't want to put them on champions like the head of Decay or the head of Mischief, just because you're provoking them or you're canceling their abilities. They're not gonna put their take their abilities out of cooldown, so your Brimstone is not gonna proc, right? But the head of Blight, you can't provoke him, you can't really stop him from doing his ability, to putting his abilities on cooldown. So he's a great target for you to basically target all your Brimstone to, because he's always gonna proc them. For instance, if I were to put a Brimstone on the head of Mischief, if he doesn't spread the buff that he steals, the Brimstone's not gonna proc, so you lose on all that damage. So that's just a small thing that I do. But yeah. So far, we're looking fairly good. We're looking like we're gonna be able to do the one key real. Well, we're past the one key right now, but it seems like we're gonna be able to do the 50 mil that we need to help out the clan fairly easy. This is the other head that I was talking about, the head of suffering. You can't really stop the head of suffering from doing his skills, so he's another great target to put your brimstone onto if you can target someone. Normally, what happens is the head of suffering is bad news when you're higher in the turn count, when you're around 120, 150. When you see the head of suffering, you know your your run is about to end, because what happens is if he gets a hold of any of your champions, if he has his abilities on not on cooldown, he'll do a double turn and instantly eat your champion. So you basically, when he eats a champion, you have only 2 turns to get him. But because he does his skill right here, where he takes an extra turn, that means that as soon as he takes your champion and he takes an extra turn, you have 1 turn to get him out. And that normally means on higher turn counts that you're just gonna end your run, unfortunately. The other thing that can happen is that you have the cleansing head, the head of decay, and she puts a shield over someone, and then you can't take control of the turn. And there she goes again. This is really not what we want. So when you see the other worst head that could pop up right now here is the head of Blight, because if we have any laps on Head of Decay, she'll do a cleanse, then we won't be able to take control of her really quickly, and because we'll lose the decrease speed on everyone. Then she'll put a shield on top of someone, and then someone will get eaten. And when that person gets eaten, it's GG's because we won't be able to do that. In 2 turns, we won't be able to take down the shield and take out the champion out of him. And here we go. We got the worst hit possible for the run. So and we're not haven't been able to take control of her. She's gonna about to take a turn and cleanse, and I have a 7 turn cooldown on my digestion here. Oh, here we go, and see that? We just put the the provoke there, so we're semi-safe. I wouldn't call it safe, but now we won't be able to hit. This is the other problem. We weren't able to put take control of that head. We weren't able to put burns nor decrease block buffs. We have right now a poison cloud in here, so if this head eats anyone, we won't be able to take them out at all. So, but luckily we're at 42 mil, and we only need 50, so I still have hopes. I think we can make it. We can make it happen. On lower levels, another thing you can do is build your if you're manually it, you can build your champions just tanky enough, but not super tanky, just so when they get eaten. Ooh, that's kind of like a spicy pick right there too. Um, okay, yeah, so I can just target there. I don't have hex on it, so that's another problem. And he's already gonna take a turn. Yeah, that might be. He might get eaten, but we only have 6 more mils to go, so we can just probably let it go and just end the run. Yeah. Okay, so now we can target it. Nah, it's a GG. We're not gonna be able to take it out. Yeah, we're so close though. We were so close. Let's take control of this head again. So there's no. We're gonna get a cleanse too. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. Boom. 1 turn, we got to provoke out, but then we have a Head of Blight's gonna put poisons. If we don't put, okay, so we took control again, so that's pretty good. I think we're still good. But that is here, turn count 120. That's what I was talking about. Once they get more speed and things starts to get really nasty, we were able to put that block buff, and no one resisted. We didn't get 3%. We didn't get affinity a bad match, but we're missing. Oh, actually no, we were. Did they put it on this head of suffering? And we're gonna get an eaten. She's probably gonna get eaten. So, and I won't be able to take her out. Oh, yeah. It seems like today I did another run today, and normally what happens is when a head has a poison cloud, he's the person who eats your champion, and they didn't eat it, and that's been really strange because that's not how it was coded before. So they might have changed something of how the targeting is working, which works in our favor. But yeah, that's another thing. We lost control at that. He has an ally protect, and we'll be able to take that champion out. So come on, we only need. I think it's like 49. See, now I'm sweating. I don't want to. See, we lost that champion too. It's not great. I should have been targeting this one, and I was talking to you guys and lost control of the fight. If we have 50 mil. You just need 50 more K. We'll just send it there. That's fine enough. Ooh. Oh, you nasty little critter. We might have to reset it just because of that poison cloud right there. We're so close. We're so close. So close. Come on. Come on. See how much we've lost control out of this already. Oh no, it's nasty. Come on, 200k, 200k. No, Huskaru, give me a takedown. Whatever you call your ability. Come on, one more. No, he's just doing his A1. He's gonna eat in. No. No, that was so close, guys. We get where? Oof. Yeah, and I was talking. I lost control of that head at the end, and we could have just done it one key. So let's see. See if someone can help us. Let me try to see if someone on can tell me how much HP was left in there. I didn't pay attention. As you guys see, there's a 14 mil, 14 mil, 14 mil here, a 4 mil. So it's, as I said, a pretty stable key. So it's not too bad. Let's see, do I have access to my... No, I don't have access to the chat. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself and we're gonna do some digging on my clan, see if someone can help me real quick. Alright. Well, it seems like one of my other clanmates doesn't haven't had their keys, so we could just keep this one and move on to Hydra Nightmare. So that is fine. Keep this one. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Oh, that's painful. All right. So on this team, all I have to worry about is just looking at what heads don't have burns and just targeting them. Just so, because Hus doesn't have an AoE burn, but we can just go around and just target different people so he puts a burnout. So whenever it's Hus' turn, I try to like swap it out. Oh, because he's not gonna be able to do anything anyway, so we just go around. Or maybe he was. Who knows? This team will normally just one key straight out if I just let it be. Um, but if I at least go and click on the heads when I have time to semi-manual it, I can make sure that the burn stays on all the champions, so on all these heads, so we can do a lot more damage quicker. It's a little bit more stable too, because if someone slips through the block buffs, then Head of Black can't shield them. So my current PR on this team itself is 135 mil. I don't think we're gonna get there today because it's very RNG heavy to get up there. But as long as we get a little bit closer to 100 mil, I'll be happy with it with the key. But we'll see what happens. Right now, I unclicked the heads just because our Brimstone's already out. Burns is on on the ones that are alive, and I just want everyone to hit whoever their positive strongest affinity to. So as you can see, Molly just went off to the left just to try to hit someone else. So that's why I did that, just so everyone knows. Okay, so here is the problem with this team right now. Whenever the blue head comes out, the head of Torment, we have no way of dealing with it. So we just have to eat up all those fears. Luckily, we get a lot of cleanses out and stuff to mitigate it, and a lot of turn meter boosting that comes from Molly. Even though we are feared, it doesn't matter. Right there, see? We just got a cleanse, and still Korrigar doesn't have any fears on here. When that happens, I try to target someone else that so even people who are positive affinity don't go after the head of torment because he will torment you just with the fears. But in the meantime, this set of head is not super bad to have around. If we get the head of blight and we put block buffs up, this would be the perfect. No, we didn't get the head of blight. We got the head of cleansing. This is not particularly good. The worst would have been the head of wrath at that spot right now. But the problem when the head of decay comes out, it's really hard to take control of her. Just because we are not going as fast as we would be going with a see right there. We're gonna get a cleanse or not, maybe. Nope. He was hit weak, so he didn't do the cleanse. So now they're all out of control, and now they got buffs up. So okay. So how we get back into control is Molly probably putting a double turn provoke, and that normally lets us reapply all our buffs without having any issues. We're gonna get Mishanaki Eden with all these buffs up, which is not great because that means that we're not gonna get as much damage done quickly. Ooh, we got that out. Perfect. We still have this head out of control here, which is not the best. Hey, and see, that's why we still bring Husk. He just went in there and clutch. Even though Molly went and put his turn, double turn after that, he still clutch up and put that provoke, even though he's negative affinity. So that's why I still think that I have a 6-star Royal Guard and I still use Husk over Royal Guard. And also because you can build Husk with a lot of HP, and that is the way he is also doing damage. So we're not super worried about anything else about that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna try to put my HP burns up there. I've been just talking to you guys and not paying too much attention, but I should have been clicking different heads to just put burns out, just so we can do more damage quicker. Probably should target this guy again for a second. Oh, Husk. No. Let's see. Molly? Provoke? Maybe? Maybe? Yes! Yes, Molly, yes. That's what we like to see, boys. See, we're still getting feared through our noses every time, but as you can see, it's still a 50-50% chance that you would lose in your turn. But the nice thing is, because of this thing, all of them have reflex. As long as they are taking their turn, we get their abilities back. So at least next turn, we have a chance to just do some HP nukes. Sorry, I'm just looking at heads that pop up as they were popping up. So this right here is not a great combination. When we have this 3 heads, it gets really nasty because we're losing turns while also not being able to take control of the head of Wrath. And the cleansing head might cleanse any buff that we put on the little control that we gain on the head of Wrath. We might lose because we're losing turns from head of Decay, Torment, and then Decay. We might not get the provokes out when we need them, and then get a full cleanse, and then get smacked a bunch by head of Wrath, and that's how we get wipes on this team. My team is pretty well geared, but it happens sometimes, and then that's just a reset on the key. But I mean, the negative engine team has exactly the same problem, except that you can mitigate it a little bit because you have Shamael out. So right there, we got a really huge smack. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know if there was a decreased attack or not, but we probably just didn't have our ally protection out. But it seems like we're trucking along. We got control out again. Hopefully we're able to kill that head of decay before he takes a turn and does a full cleanse. Oh, hey, see, there you go. Husk clutching up again. Molly, stay chill, Molly. Let her take a turn. Let her take a turn before you put your provoke out. Molly, chill. Molly, chill. Okay, Molly, don't chill. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay, this one's easy because yeah, we got some of our Ugo is kind of, as long as her stuff is out there, it's really easy to get her out. Just because as long as we have the block buff, she's just there to gain extra heals and put a layer of decreased defense, which Mishinaki can also put out there. So it's pretty nice. It's not that bad when she's out of the rotation, right? People who get it gets really nasty when, let's say, Molly's gonna get eaten pretty soon. When she gets eaten, it gets pretty nasty because our speed slows down so much. But at least we have Korgaur and a Negmotar out there still doing work. One thing that I want to do with this team is I want to put my Negmotar on triple speed. I don't have the gear to do it right now, but I want my neck motor to have like around 300 and maybe 50 speed, 370 speed. I just don't have the gear right now. We're gonna get a poison cloud right here. This is gonna be kind of scary. Hopefully we get burns out. See if I can target it so I can put a burnout on him. Can we get a burnout on him? If we get a burn on him, we're all covered. Come on, Mishi. Ah, yes, we got it. Perfect. That means that now he's gonna put a two-turn poison cloud, but it doesn't matter because everyone. Oh no! So this head here didn't have burns, so we're not covered on his damage. So we're gonna lose his damage for 2 turns. Um, luckily, luckily, Molly is consumption is in 9 turns, so we're still in pretty good shape. So here's what gets nasty is that 1 turn block buff. We have 1 turn to be able to re-up all the buffs on head of Wrath before he does anything else. Because that he will slap us again before like pretty soon because we most of our stuff is AoE. Um, so we have to be. I shouldn't have been targeting. I was talking. I forgot about that. Hopefully we can get allied protection syncing with that smack at the 16th turn. And if we can strip that increased attack, then I think we're in a way better shape. Because what can happen is if he catches us without our ally protection, he can wipe a bunch of our people at the same time, and he can sync up with the poisons from Head of Blight. A lot of people ignore the Head of Blight, but when you have Head of Blight and Wrath at the same time out, it gets kind of dangerous. Because right now we're gonna get slapped, and also we're gonna take a bunch of. Oh, we gotta cleanse. That was perfect. Because now I will go and trigger it just because I want it triggered when I have all my buffs up. So see how little damage we took there. If we would have waited and our ally protection would have gone down, and then someone did an AoE and triggered Head of Wrath smack, we were gonna get punished really hard just because all our defensive buffs were up and his increased attack is out. I'm not super happy that this is still up right now, but we can't do anything because we're weak healing right now. But he's about to take a turn. Hopefully he doesn't provoke anyone, and then we maybe can go around and strip all those buffs before and take control of that Head of Wrath. See how hard it is to take control once the Head of Decay has been out, because he just unsyncs everyone's turns and abilities. See how much damage we took right there because he had increased attack. Oh, and we got the head again. Yeah, so that's not good. And we're just about to gain control of Head of Wrath again. And Molly's about to get eaten too, so that's extra bad. So this might be a wipe right now. Molly, no, Molly! Won't provoke. Husk? No. That is not great. And right now, the one who ate him is Head of Suffering. So we're not gonna have any protection. So right now, this is the breaking point right here. This is where we wipe. Look. Yeah, we got poison. The poison attack. Well, we got resisted a lot of them, thankfully. But now, if we don't put decrease, oof. See how close we are to wiping right there? And our reviver is eaten. Ooh, that was clutch. We got Husk getting that whole HP. We should probably be targeting here. Sorry, I keep talking and forgetting what I need to be doing. Okay, now we're in a better position. Now we need so head of decay. He's not. We're losing 25% of HP just because of the destroy HP just because of head of decay is out. But as long as his abilities are on cooldown, we are okay. All we need to do is now concentrate on not clicking that head and making sure that the nice thing of Mishinaki is that he can strip all those buffs, even though they're just falling out. But see, now we Husk died. That's not great. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, this is also a nasty set, but yeah, that A1 from that's the most annoying thing about Head of Decay. A lot of people fear all the other skills is when he puts out that block healing. That's when it screws you over, just because um, you are not gonna be able to heal from your leeches right there, and he will probably die, which is not terrible, because I can just get him up. Hopefully, it happens and when her Molly's cooldown is up, but he's probably not going to survive the next smack from Head of Wrath. Unless Head of Wrath dies. Yes, he died. So maybe we are in a better spot. But we'll see. So now right now we're in 106. You guys remember how our other run ended at 120? Is because the consumption gets really quick. Now what we have to be careful is everyone to be top up and having really good control over everyone. Having all those HP burns that's going to help us get Mishinaki out once this turn comes around to get Eden. Because this is where if the consumption, and I am seeing right now, these skills are sinking right now. See how Mishinaki's at 4 and he's at 2? My Mishinaki will probably take 2 turns before the consumption, and it's going to sink right with the Head of Suffering taking 2 turns. So I'm going to have 1 turn to take that out. So that might be extra nasty. Right now we're just going to work on trying to get another provoke out here, but nope. See, that's really bad right now. See how it's sinking? So now we got a 2 turn, so that's pretty good. If we can get decreased speed there, that would be ideal. Because see, he's going to take 1 turn now, and then he's going to take 1 turn, and then he's going to have all his skills on cooldown, and he's going to probably eat our Mishinaki. And we're now also dealing with the Hair of Fear and Wrath. So this is the worst possible thing that could come out right now when we're about to get eaten. Because we're going to get no control over this head. She's probably going to get a cleanse, and we're going to get Fear, not going to be able to put our skills up. And then we get that double turn for the consumption here. So here right now. Head of Torment. Head of Suffering. Making us suffer here. If someone else eats a Mishinaki, we're good. But my suspicion is going to be, yep, exactly him, and he takes another turn, and now he's going to take another turn. Oh, he didn't. Perfect. He didn't use his skill because he used the consumption. But if I can't get him out right now, he's going to take a double turn, and that's my Mishinaki gone, and we're going to have to reset because we're targeting 100 mil. Yeah, I don't really see how we're going to be able to take him out. Yeah, we got the HP burn. That was a combination of the HP burn and then Haas getting around his ability because of his reflex, and that was beautiful. That just right there was the positive RNG that I was telling you about. So what you just stack, you just catch in and through your gear, you just catch in that positive RNG everywhere you can, so you can save your runs. Like just happened right there. That was super close. Yeah. When the higher turn counts, Head of Suffering is a definite liability. That's the head that I know I'm targeting someone else right now because I know he's about to die before he even gets his next turn. Um, but yeah, that Head of Suffering is a definite liability. Decay is pretty bad too, but you know. So see that even now we're still eating up all those fears. Hit of Torment hasn't been that bad as long as the other hits within the field are in control and they don't have that much synergy. He's about to die too. So we're in pretty good shape. So now next one who's gonna get eaten is Gorgar, and he's probably gonna get eaten by the Head of Wrath, I think. Because I think everyone else has still 2 turns. Yeah, all the other heads have 2 turns to spawn. So if the game wants to eat someone, it's gonna have to be Head of Wrath. So see what Wrath did right there? He's just literally ignoring my Gorgar, even though he sometimes you get eating a turn when you have only 1 turn left, but I want Wrath to eat my Korgar because I don't want any of the other heads that eat my Korgar. Is bad news. And now we're gonna get a head that spawns, and that's not gonna be great because then who knows what's gonna spawn there, and he might either just end our Korgar's journey. So Head of Blight is not too bad. The problem is that we have a lot of heads that haven't spawned, and it's gonna sync up to where they're gonna start spawning, and he's gonna take a turn and put the head of see right now. And now he's gonna take a turn and put the thing. Ooh, he didn't. So that's huge. That's huge. That gives us a little bit of time. Now we need to take quick control of everything before this head. Oh, we got him free, so that we're pretty good. Now we just need, if we get a provoke here. No, we didn't. So that is not great. Husk? No. Okay. Maybe Molly comes back around. Molly, come back around. If you book the provoke out, you're in the MVP. She's the MVP anyways, but she gets shy sometimes. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! There you go, and 2 turns. That's how we push into the 100 million right there. So that bought us another 10 mil. Every time that happens, bought us another 10 mil. So we have perfect control over all the heads, and we don't have to have that much fear over what the head of the K is doing because we have 2 turns. That means that Molly has another go around. So she's gonna get, before that falls off, she's gonna take 2 turns and have another provoke. If the provoke in here is another 2 turn, that means that we're probably gonna do 80 mil. Easy. So that was on 2 turn. So now that means that we have to target that head with Husk to see if we can patch over, if Husk blesses us with another provoke before Molly comes around and does his thing. No. Okay. That means that there's probably gonna be a cleanse, and we're not gonna be super happy about it. So we're gonna lose a lot of control. At least the Head of Blight already wasted his Poison Cloud, so we might be fine. Let's see, what turn is this? I think yeah, 2 turns. There you go. That's perfect. That means that we're gonna go 80 mil. Husk is gonna get eaten. So the best thing that can happen, I'm gonna target Head of Wrath here because I want a big smack and maybe have him take out Husk, so I don't have to fight to get Husk out and just revive him. That would be the best outcome possible. Nah, but he died. Okay, so this is unfortunate. Okay, I'm just gonna target the head of the K here. Okay, that's not bad. That's not too bad. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how this is going. Hopefully, Molly takes a turn now and does another provoke for 2 turns. Nope. Okay, that might be slightly problematic because he might get a cleanse, and because we don't have any big damage, burst damage right now. We're relying on War Master and Hex to get our Husk out. Seems like we're halfway there, so depending on what this comes out. Okay, so Head of Wrath is not gonna be too bad right now because yes, we have the 2-turn provoke from Molly again. See how Molly just eliminates a head. As long as RNG is on our side, it eliminates anything that the head of the K can do. He just stands there as a bot, can't do anything. Now we have fairly good control. I have forgotten completely about keeping targeting different heads just for the burns, because at this point things happen so quickly. We just can't we don't have the luxury of retargeting things as it happen. We just have to keep going and do as much damage as possible. Okay, so Huss died. It's no bueno. I wouldn't have mind if Huss had died with a low amount of turn meter, but right there he died with almost full turn meter, so that means that he didn't get a chance to put his skill on cooldown and died. So that means that that's 2 turns that he didn't do anything. Man, head of the K knows that Huss is there to punish. Just keeps targeting with the heal reduction, the Husk. So you're there. See how we're saying we're getting to the 80 mil as long as we keep control. So the critical point when you're running Hydra Nightmare is whenever those heads start spawning, because they have no buffs and they can do whatever they want. They don't have decreased speed for you to be able to lap them. But as long as you have that decreased speed out and increased speed, that means that you're gonna be able to probably take 2 turns before any of the heads take a turn. And what that does is that you can overlap all your abilities really quickly, right? Right now we have 2 turns before the 2 heads on the far right spawn. Hopefully we get that head of the K down. That would be ideal. I'd rather all the heads spawn at the same time if they're all dead. We're not going to be able to get Wrath to sync there to kill them before everyone spawn. We're going to get one head and then the other one. It seems like there's going to be a little bit of time before anything of that happens. I want that head dead before... Actually, I should be targeting that one. Before they spawn. Seems to they... Because the problem right now is they're going to spawn, and we don't know what they are. And it's going to be really hard to take control over anything that happens after that. Okay, so that head is not too bad as long as he didn't hit anyone. So these 2 heads are really good at the late game. Because I know he's a run ender just because of his double turn. But as long as we can keep control of him, as long as this head is dead. Because then we can just put all those buffs and decrease attack. And as long as Huss was not the one being eaten at the time, he's going to be able to take whoever is getting eaten out. Okay, so let me target Head of Decay because we don't have a Provoke yet on him. So that means that he could do a cleanse, and we don't want that right now. We're at a very vulnerable point right now when Head just spawns. See how they don't have decreased speed? This one doesn't have decreased speed yet. Doesn't have burns. Doesn't have anything, so we're just flying solo at that point. So the next one's gonna get eaten is Mishinaki, which whenever your damage dealers are getting eaten, that's kind of critical points too. It wouldn't be as much of a problem if I was controlling my champions, but I'm just semi autoing this. So I'm just letting them do whatever skills they have, just because I have reflex and relentless on all my champions in this team. So I'm confident that most of the time they can get around to their skills. If I was fully manual in this, it wouldn't be even a problem because I know I would have my Husk ability HP takedown on off of cooldown. Sorry. So right now the far head doesn't have any debuff right now, which is pretty critical. I need him to have a decreased speed. Okay, so now nice thing is I think he's gonna take a turn before the consumption of Michinaki. So he's gonna burn that extra turn before Michinaki is even available to get eaten, I think. So if that happens, it's not that we're out of the water of the deep waters, but at least we're in a better spot. I'm gonna try to put HP burn on it too, just in case that's the hit that eats me. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's see what we can do. Okay, Huss, do your thing. Huss, do your thing. Actually, do I want to be targeting him? Maybe that was a mistake, because now Huss might lose. Okay, no, that was fine. My fear was that because I did that, Huss might have had his HP nuke, but he was gonna miss his turn because of the fear, because I went in there and clicked on that head. There you go. Easy. Man, this is what I call the positive engine team. The negative is just based out of I call personally. I don't know. Then the other team I didn't develop it. That's just a team that a lot of people use. It's over Discord. You can look up Nub's channel, Nub Raids. He has he uses a similar team. Okay, so right here we are losing control over this head, and we have not a lot of block buffs out. So we're hoping for burns and block buffs out. There we go. Okay, so as this is not too bad. See what I was saying? As long as we don't have Wrath and Decay, there's this guys don't have a lot of synergy. In terms of they can't break free from our control. As long as I can keep up decrease speed on them and block buff whenever Head of Blight is using his Poison Cloud. Now we don't have a lot of buffs on this guy, so I'm gonna target him. Ooh, okay, so that's spicy. I can't target that one, so that's not great. But we're getting close. Okay, so that's... Oof. I might miss that turn here. That's gonna cost... Ooh, perfect. Yay! So we got our Molly Tanker back. Target that head. The reason why I'm targeting that head instead of anyone else is because that... If for some reason that head eats my champion, he's the biggest threat right now. Out of because everyone else has block buffs. I know I don't have Hex on everyone, which would be ideal. But he is the head that if it comes down to him eating my champion, one of my champions, and then I'm feared at the same time and missed my HP nuke turn, he will end my run. So that's why I'm targeting him right now, because at least I want as much damage on him. And as see right now he has the other reason why I target him is right now he has his Brimstone. If he is one of my champions, like he's gonna do right now, he instantly procs that Brimstone because he uses the consumption is a skill, right? Where we only have another 500 turns. But because he did that, now we have Brimstone again. So that means when he does this skill, he's also gonna take Brimstone again, and that's probably gonna free our champion. Even though if we didn't have that, he would consume our champion right now. So that's why I was targeting him specifically for this situation. So unless the game is gonna screw me over, we're gonna get that champion back. Pretty confident. Pretty confident. Please, game. Don't let me down. Come on, game. Give it back. Give it back. There you go. Now we have the champion back. Now, so this is where we're basically getting consumptions back to back. This turn we already clear our what do we wanted to do 100 mil. Korriger is gonna get eaten. I don't know by who. I was paying attention more to what was happening with my other champion. This champion is really easy. I can take him out. So Husk died. That's not terrible. Does anyone get? No. Okay, no one got anything. So what killed Husk was the reflect damage. He did too much damage. That's why Mishinaki pairs so well with Husk, because he can take cleanse that reflect damage, and that way Husk will not get killed. So right now I want to target this head just to kill it, just so it clear. Whenever you kill that head, all your fears also get cleansed when you kill them. So at this point of the run, all we're praying is for good RNG on heads. So if we get the same heads to spawn again, that is the perfect combination. At the late time of the run, this is what you want to have, because they're easy. The only threat that you have right here is suffering. So let's see if we can get the same head to pop up again. No, this is a bad head to spawn right now. Now we have to take instant control of him. So if Molly is able to take control of her, oh, Husk, there right there. So Husk did his thing, so we're a little bit safer. And Molly was not gonna provoke there, so that saved us right there. So now hopefully Husk comes around with his HP nuke. Is he going to? Maybe not. And then we get that champion out. Yep, there you go. And that's how we keep pushing. Let's kill these heads. Now, so I'm just gonna that one's gonna die by itself right now, and it's gonna push so we want to kill him right now, because when that happens, see how it depletes the turn meter of all the heads. So that was really good, a really good decision on my part, because that way we gain a turn of damage on all the dead heads, and pushing back the turn meter of Head of Decay, because we killed the head of that what was that the head that steals your buff, the mischief head. And whenever you kill that head, it depletes I think 50% of the turn meter of all the heads. So that was really good for us. So we can keep control over the head of decay. Now what would be beautiful is if Molly comes around and does a 2-turn provoke on the head of decay, and we can get control of all the other heads. So that's why I say my manual at this point. That's a bad head to have with decay out right now. Head of blight. Sorry, the head of torment. Because the problem is right now, see, right now Molly skipped her turn because of fear, so she didn't get her fear out. So, but now she took it, and oh, we got a 3% resist. That might cost us the run. If this is head of blight that pops up right now, that might end our run. And now we got consumption by that head, which is terrible, because that means that we get forced into targeting that head, which fears us like all the time. So right here, exactly, head of blight. So now she's gonna put poison cloud. So we need to be able to take control of all the other heads before it does that. We're not gonna be able to. Okay, so we got her out, which that's our ticket to be able to take control of the head of decay. Are we gonna be able to put something to stop? Okay, so most of the heads. So we have 2 heads that we're not gonna be able to target. So hopefully Ugo comes back around and puts the block buff, but I don't think that's gonna happen at this late. Oh, it did. It did. Perfect. And that is the RNG, good RNG stacking on our favor. We have no provokes here, so that might be pretty bad. Because this, okay, so we got it. Okay, so I think we're not going to be able to take Husk out, because right now we don't have a lot of damage. So we're relying on Hex damage and War Master to take him out. Although, I think my Mishinaki is putting in work. He took a, ooh, we got him out. So that might be that we are pushing to 130 mil. My best damage with this team is 135. So let's see if we can match that. I'm not confident. But we'll see. The Hus didn't take that turn, so that's bad. Hopefully we get the turn back from I don't even know who's eating. Ugo's eating. Okay, so as long as Ugo, see, it's not that bad when Ugo's eating, because as long as her skills are out, she doesn't do it too much, right? Oh my god, this head is just eating back to back. So see, this is the end of the run. We're getting eaten left and right in the same turn. So hopefully I should target this head to see if we can kill it. No, we're not gonna be able to. See, that ended the run. Because if I would have been able to take a turn and kill her before all the buff got stripped, we would have been able to. Oh, maybe. Because right now, if Husk has his takedown right now, we might be able to free a bunch of people. No, see, that ended the run. But hey, we're 20 mil above our target, so we are good. So if hopefully we can get another takedown before we end the run. Yes, that's another mil right there, and I'm pretty happy with this key. So I think this is gonna be the end of the stream. So let me know, you guys. Do you guys enjoy this type of content? This is a pretty I thought it was a pretty good run. Showing you guys what champions have really good synergy with each other. And I know a lot of people say, well, I can't do Nightmare because I don't have Shamael. Well, look at here. I don't have Shamael on this team. It's a very similar team to the negative engine team. This is the positive engine team, as I call it. I didn't create the negative engine team, but I did create, or conceptually put together the positive engine team with the replacing champions from the negative one. So let me know what you guys think about this team. It's pretty sweet, I think. There's a lot of synergy there with we basically having triple boosting from Nekmotar, Molly, Korogar, and having 2 double cleansers with Ugo and Korogar. We have double decreased defense with Ugo and Mishinaki, a buff strip on Mishinaki, Hex on Mishinaki, and only 1 HP nuker. But see how Hex is adding so much damage that my Mishinaki and Husk almost has the same amount of damage. That is very impressive, I think. Or at least I know it's my team, but I really like it. It's really fun to play. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna keep this key. Let's see how much damage we have left on our Nightmare head, but that was a pretty solid damage, I think. Now imagine if instead of Husk we had Acrisia there. Imagine if that slot instead of Husk. I mean, one thing you lose from it would make the key a little bit more unstable because Acrisia is not gonna be able to provoke. Unless you build it on a provoke set, but I mean, I think that would be the point of finding Acrisia. You want an Acrisia on a reflex set, or sorry, on a relentless set. But I mean, I think maybe if you put so here's what I would do. If I had an Acrisia, I would swap her out for Husk and put Mishinaki instead of on a reflex. I would put him on a provoke set and manually target the head of Decay every time he pops up, because that way every time he does hits a free counter attack to the head, because we're targeting with all the other champions, it's gonna have a 20% chance. I keep saying percentages, and I don't remember exactly how much the percentage is. I don't have anyone, but here with provoke. But oh, actually, I do have someone that I use with provoke set right now. Right here. So you have that same chance on, so that's 30% chance to provoke him every time you counterattack, which happens fairly often. So that is provoke set is really strong on Mishinaki. So if you didn't get much from the stream, get that. Since he was a guarantee for 20 charts, a lot of you might have him. So that is the end of the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed my rambling and talking to you guys for like almost like an hour and a half. So this being Elixium, and this is my channel Elixium Plays. This is your place for Raid, Shadow Legends video, and information on Hydra. It was fun. See you guys on the next one.